Hello and welcome to a cheeky blowout 9Honey everyday kitchen. I'm Jane de Graaff and today we're going to be making a classic chicken parmigiana or chicken parmy if that's what you prefer. Now what I love about this recipe is it's essentially chicken schnitzel served with a beautiful tomato sauce. So let's get going. The first thing we need to do is get our chicken breaded and fried so that we can get on to making the sauce. And what I've got here is one chicken breast that I have beaten out using my trusty rolling pin between two sheets of baking paper. And the reason I've done this is to get it nice and even all the way along so that it cooks evenly and we don't get dry bits and bits that aren't cooked. It's a nice cheeky way to start off and it'll just help with the cooking process. What I have here is some plain flour, 2 whisked eggs, and some panko crumbs or Japanese breadcrumbs, which are lovely and crispy and crunchy. Now in my breadcrumbs, I have added some lemon rind, some garlic salt, and some lemon thyme. So we're just gonna mix that all through like this. This is just to flavor our beautiful breadcrumbs. You can put in whatever you like, any kind of spices. These are the ones that work for me. And then I'm also going to add some Parmesan cheese that has been shredded up because this will give it an extra salty, crispy flavour. So we'll mix that all through until we have our beautiful coating. I'm going to add some more Parmesan. Yeah. This is also a great coating for chicken nuggets or fish or anything else you want to fry really. So keep it up your sleeve. It's a very handy little recipe to have. So now that that's all mixed, here we go. Now there is no question this is the messy bit. It's a fun one to do with the kids, so if you don't want to get your hands dirty, get the kids to do it. But what we're going to do is take our chicken, press it into our flour. There we go. Shake off any excess. And now we're just going to run it through our egg. Okay, and that creates like a loose batter. Now we're going to press it into our panko crumbs. There we go. Make sure it gets a nice coating all over it. You can really press it on. There we go. All right, now in my fry pan, I've just been heating some olive oil and we're going to pop our chicken schnitzel, not yet parmigiana, into our fry pan. All right, that's sizzling away beautifully now. All we want to do is cook it for a couple of minutes on each side until it's crispy and golden brown and beautiful. That's smelling and looking pretty good to me, so let's have a look. Oh yes, ready to turn. Here we go. Look at that. Beautiful. All right. All right, that's smelling pretty good to me. Let's have a look. Oh yes, perfectly golden underneath. So now I'm just going to pop the chicken to one side and keeping the pan on the heat, I'm going to add a little bit more oil. And then we're going to fry off some onions. Get all those extra bits of breadcrumbs. Oh. So, the onion's frying off with the olive oil, but there's also all those beautiful chickeny flavours in the pan, which is just what we're after here. We're just going to cook our onions down. Yes, it's smelling so good in here between the lemon rind and the thyme and all the chicken and the parmesan. It smells incredible. All right, so our onions are cooking down beautifully, and now to the pan, I'm going to add some tomato passata. Now you can use store-bought passata, or if you would really like to, you could cook your tomatoes down long and slow until they're nice and thick and saucy. But in we go. Oh, yes. All right, now we're just going to let that heat through, and to that I'm going to add some basil leaves. Now my passata already had basil in it, but I'm just adding some extra fresh leaves because I like the fresh basil flavour in there, and I'm just going to stir those through. Our basil leaves are cooking down beautifully and our sauce is nice and hot, So now it's time for the next little trick, which is to dress our parmigiana so it can go under the grill. What we need to do now is get our lovely chicken schnitzel, slide him back into the pan. Controversial, I know, but trust me, it is delicious. And now what we're going to do is spoon a little of this sauce over the top. Not too much, we don't want to lose all that crunchy coat. But we'll spread some over the top like that. And then to that, it is time to add our cheese. And what I have here is some buffalo mozzarella that I've sliced up into lovely big rounds, which I'm just gonna lay on top. This is such a cheeky, decadent dish, isn't it? There we go. And then to that, I'm going to add a basil leaf on each side and finish it with some parmesan over the top, like that. Now we're going to take this whole pan, pop it under the grill for a few minutes just to melt the cheese, and that is your chicken parmigiana served in the pan. I will be back in a moment. Oh, there we go. Smell that. There is my chicken parmigiana served in the pan. Now you could do as many pieces of breast as you like. I've served it for myself today. Lucky me, but look at that, all the melty cheese. All it needs is one little flourishing flair to finish. Like that and like that, because I can. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? The contrasting colors and the fragrance is really extraordinary. Last thing I'm going to do is a little drizzle of olive oil. Oh, and joy of joys, I am going to take a little bit like this, grab a tiny bit like that. Oh, look, so juicy and delicious. That is incredible. Thank you so much for joining me for 9Honey's Everyday Kitchen Chicken Parmigiana cooked in the pan. I will see you next time.